Hey, can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta Davis fights don't go the distance.
Gervonta Davis is sticking to what he does best, and his latest training clips suggest that Lamont Roach could be in serious trouble. Tank has been proving he's not underestimating Roach. He's actually preparing harder than most fans expected. His physique has transformed into a leaner, more athletic build, and his power and speed are on full display when he hits the pads. Many in the boxing world are already feeling bad for Roach after seeing what Tank is bringing to the table.
I run in the morning. If I don't, I run at night. Train probably like 2 or 3. If I want to do something again, I train at night. Or I run, and that'll be it. But when I'm in camp,
Tank recently shared a short clip of himself hitting the pads, but this time, his hand speed was so insane that some fans started questioning if the video was sped up. And honestly, who could blame them? He was throwing punches at a blistering pace, each one landing faster than the last. But it wasn't just about speed. His precision, technique, and sheer confidence stood out. Davis made his intentions clear, saying, "I'll put them on a flatbed in Harlem Hospital. Yeah, I told them we rumbling." That wasn't just trash talk, it was a straight-up warning. Roach might want to think twice before stepping into the ring with someone this locked in and ready for war. Fans in the comments section went wild over the video. One, completely blown away, wrote, "That boy is going to hurt something." Another jumped in, saying, "Let's clear out all these 135 airs," clearly hoping to see Davis dominate the entire lightweight division. Some kept it simple, like one fan who said, "He's not playing FR." But the comment that really stood out? Harlem Hospital giving them beds out. It was funny, but it carried a dark truth. People genuinely believe Roach is stepping into a nightmare. But here's the thing about training videos. They always look impressive. The punches are crisp, the combos flow smoothly, and the footwork seems unstoppable. That's the advantage of training in a controlled environment. Pads don't hit back. And let's not forget what happened with Mike Tyson. Before his scheduled fight with Jake Paul, his training clips made him look like a beast, almost like his younger self. But when fight night came, reality kicked in. His age showed, his movement wasn't the same, and his stamina ran out. But Gervonta Davis isn't 58 like Tyson. He's in his prime. Fans believe what they're seeing because Davis has proven time and time again that he delivers when it counts. Plus, there's another twist. Davis recently announced that he plans to retire in 2025. This fight against Roach is the first stop on what he's calling his farewell tour. And with Roach being the one to kick it off, things might get rough for him. If this is how Davis is starting his goodbye, fans can't wait to see what's next.
Obviously, he's a superstar. But just because it's who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win. I've been coming to win. And I think the same result will happen on December the 14th.
Or maybe not, because not everyone's convinced. Davis says he's tired of boxing and ready to walk away after a few more fights, but some are buying it. Floyd Schofield Sr., father of rising star Floyd Schofield Jr., has a different take. According to him, Davis isn't retiring because he's done. He's stepping away to avoid fighting Schofield Jr. Schofield Sr. even claimed that in a private conversation, Tank admitted, "I would never get in the ring with that guy." Schofield Sr. didn't stop there. He brought up something he's been saying for 2 years. "I told the world that when Floyd gets to the point where he's a mandatory for Tank, Davis will retire," he said. And now, it seems like that's exactly what's happening. Those are bold words, and if there's any truth to them, it could change how fans view Davis's retirement. Of course, Davis hasn't responded to these claims. He's too busy focusing on his fight with Roach and teasing a possible matchup with Ryan Garcia afterward. Fans are eager to find out who his final opponent will be. Will it be another huge name, or will Davis pull a surprise and pick someone unexpected? And then there's Roach, stuck in the middle of all this. Imagine being the guy who has to face Davis right now. The pressure is unreal. Davis is posting training clips that make him look unstoppable. Fans are predicting your downfall in the comments, and the shadow of Davis's future fights looms over everything. Roach isn't just fighting Davis. He's battling the hype, the expectations, and the narrative that's already predicting his loss. But let's not forget, boxing is unpredictable. Davis might seem unbeatable, but fights aren't won on pads, they're won in the ring. Maybe Roach pulls off a surprise. Maybe he lands a punch that nobody expects. Or maybe, just maybe, Davis does send him to Harlem Hospital like he promised. Fans won't know until the bell rings, but the anticipation is already sky high.
The fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with them or not. That matters.
And then there's Roach, stuck in the middle of all this. Imagine being the guy who has to face Davis right now. The pressure is unreal. Davis is posting training clips that make him look unstoppable. Fans are predicting your downfall in the comments, and the shadow of Davis's future fights looms over everything. Roach isn't just fighting Davis. He's battling the hype, the expectations, and the narrative that's already predicting his loss. But let's not forget, boxing is unpredictable. Davis might seem unbeatable, but fights aren't won on pads, they're won in the ring. Maybe Roach pulls off a surprise. Maybe he lands a punch that nobody expects. Or maybe, just maybe, Davis does send him to Harlem Hospital like he promised. Fans won't know until the bell rings, but the anticipation is already sky high.
Oh, there you go. Good punch. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Lamont Roach might seem like a solid opponent on paper, but he's not the name fans were hoping to see on Davis's schedule. Bradley and others argue that fights like this don't do much to solidify Tank's legacy. It's hard to ignore the critiques about weight advantages and carefully selected matchups. These comments fuel the narrative that, despite all his talent, Davis is being kept away from the true challenges in the division. Of course, not everyone agrees with Bradley. Davis's fans are quick to defend him, pointing to his flawless record and undeniable skill set. With 30 wins, 28 of them by knockout, it's hard to argue with that. Whether his opponents are handpicked or not, you can't fake that kind of power or precision in the ring. But then there are the rumors, the whispers that Davis is planning to retire after just a few more fights. For some, this only adds more complexity to the criticism. If Davis is truly on a farewell tour, why not go out facing the toughest opponents possible? The idea of avoiding a fighter like Floyd Schofield Jr. has only added fuel to the fire. Schofield's father has openly accused Davis of ducking his son, suggesting that the retirement talk is just a convenient way to avoid the challenge. True or not, it's a narrative that feeds into the doubts already surrounding Davis's career. Even within the boxing world, opinions about Davis are divided. Some see him as an unstoppable force, a fighter who blends raw talent with smart preparation. Others view him as a carefully protected commodity, someone whose team is more focused on preserving his marketability than proving his greatness. But as the clock ticks down to his supposed exit from the sport, the stakes keep rising. Will Davis face the big names fans have been asking for, or will his career remain a mix of brilliance and unanswered questions? Teofimo Lopez's recent comments about Tank have only added more fuel to the ongoing debate about Davis and his legacy. Lopez, never one to hold back, made it clear that he isn't impressed by Davis's knockout streak. Instead, he questioned the quality of the opponents who've fallen to Davis's devastating power. For Lopez, Davis's KO streak isn't as impressive as it may seem on the surface. Who has he fought? Lopez asked, voicing a sentiment shared by many in the boxing world. They're not seasoned fighters. He's never faced someone like me, never. It's a bold claim, but Lopez has the credentials to back it up. As a former undisputed lightweight champion, he's faced and beaten some of the best, including Vasyl Lomachenko in one of the biggest upsets of recent years.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all that people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
Lopez's frustration is understandable. He's repeatedly called for a fight with Davis, a matchup that would undoubtedly draw massive attention and could potentially answer the questions surrounding Davis's career. But so far, those calls have gone unanswered, leaving Lopez and others wondering why. It's not just Lopez who's taken aim at Davis. Shakur Stevenson, another elite fighter and potential rival, has also been vocal in his criticism. Stevenson didn't hold back when he accused Davis of avoiding high-level competition. "It looks good to the public," Stevenson said, referring to Davis's highlight reel knockouts. "But I'm a fighter. I know what's going on."
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the results.
Move ahead, bob and weave, bob and weave.
Stevenson went even further, accusing Davis of using weight clauses and other tactics to gain an advantage over his opponents. "You're taking the less talented fighters and making it look like they're on your level," Stevenson claimed. For someone as accomplished as Stevenson, who prides himself on fighting the best, Davis's approach to matchmaking appears to be a calculated way to protect his record rather than a genuine pursuit of greatness. Davis's most recent fight against Frank Martin ended with yet another knockout, this time in the 8th round. It was a dominant performance, one that further cemented his reputation as one of boxing's most exciting fighters. But even that victory didn't escape scrutiny. Critics like Lopez and Stevenson argue that while Martin is talented, he's not the kind of opponent who will truly test Davis's skills.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't
For what?
bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you,
They
don't
gonna
bring 'em.
celebrate with me. Yeah,
Don't bring them.
it's gonna be a party on your
I'm
floor.
gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here
It's
shaking.
gonna-
As Davis prepares for his upcoming bout against Lamont Roach in March, the criticism is unlikely to die down. Roach, while a solid fighter, isn't considered an elite-level opponent. If Davis were to retire at the end of the year as he suggested, fights like these could leave his career open to questions about what might have been. And that's the heart of the issue for fighters like Lopez and Stevenson. They see Davis as a talent who could be doing so much more. "Until he fights an elite-level fighter, I don't want to hear nothing from him," Stevenson said.
When the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't
Y'all-
do-
At just 30 years old, with an undefeated record and an army of fans, Davis is at the peak of his career. Walking away now without facing the best of the best would leave a lot of unanswered questions. For Lopez, Stevenson, and other critics, it would also provide more fuel to question the legitimacy of Davis's legacy. But Davis's supporters see things differently. They argue that his 30-0 record and 28 knockouts speak for themselves. They point to his star power, his ability to sell out arenas, and his dominance in the ring as proof that he's one of the best of his generation. For them, the criticism is just noise, the kind that follows any fighter who reaches the top.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, look that night.
I'm telling you saying you going down in a 9?
Still, the doubts persist. Fighters like Lopez and Stevenson aren't just critics, they're potential opponents, men who believe they have the tools to expose Davis's weaknesses. And for fans, that's the fight they want to see. Davis against someone who can truly push him, someone who can force him to dig deep and show what he's really made of. Timothy Bradley's candid remarks about Gervonta Davis on X also sparked intense discussion among boxing fans and analysts alike. Bradley, never one to shy away from bold opinions, painted a picture of a fighter who has embraced a new level of self-awareness, confidence, and readiness to dominate his opponents. He focused on a recently leaked image of Davis, which had stirred conversations online, calling it a testament to Davis's complete comfort with himself and his evolution as both a person and a fighter.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends, probably.
Is it going to be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all going to be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
We're both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
Oh, true. Okay.
Bradley didn't mince words when describing the transformation he sees in Davis. "My man is on a new level," Bradley declared, emphasizing how Davis's confidence radiates in every aspect of his life and career. For Bradley, Davis isn't just a boxer anymore. He's someone who has unlocked a deeper understanding of himself. "There's a power in knowing who you are," Bradley explained, noting that many people, even at the top of their fields, never truly discover their identity. According to Bradley, Davis's self-assurance is now one of his greatest weapons, adding an extra edge to his already devastating skill set.
Yes, indeed, man. I watched a few of your amateur fights, right? I didn't know that you and Tank fought many years ago as well, man. And
This new version of Davis, Bradley argued, is a nightmare for his upcoming opponent, Lamont Roach Jr. Bradley was quick to sympathize with Roach, acknowledging his talent but making it clear that this Davis is not the same fighter we've seen in the past. "I feel sorry for Roach," Bradley admitted. "He's a good fighter, but I'm telling you, this Tank right here is different. It's a different dude." Bradley went on to highlight Davis's impressive physical readiness, pointing out that he appears in peak condition even with the fight months away. For Bradley, this is proof of Davis's focus and dedication, elements that, when combined with his natural talent, make him an almost unbeatable force in the ring.
How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much I want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet. What's your name? Al, where you from?
Meanwhile, WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson has also chimed in on the upcoming fight, offering a different perspective. While Davis has faced criticism for choosing Roach as his opponent, Stevenson defended the matchup, calling it an amazing fight and showing respect for Roach's potential. "I think a lot of people are sleeping on Lamont," Stevenson said in an interview with DAZN. "I think Lamont is going to come out there and show the world who he is." Stevenson's comments highlighted the unpredictability of boxing, where even underdogs have the potential to rise to the occasion and deliver stunning performances. Davis's decision to face Roach has been a topic of debate among boxing fans and analysts. Many argue that Davis, with his undefeated record and superstar status, should be taking on bigger names in the sport. After all, the lightweight division is stacked with talent, including Stevenson, Vasyl Lomachenko, William Zepeda, and rising star Keyshawn Davis. Despite this criticism, Davis remains focused on his path, confident that his choice of opponents aligns with his long-term goals. It's worth noting that Davis's fight with Roach comes after a relatively quiet year in terms of activity. His sole bout in 2024 was a June showdown against Frank Martin, which ended in an 8th-round knockout. While the performance was vintage Davis, showcasing his signature power and ability to finish fights, it also left fans wanting more. Many expected Davis to take on another high-profile opponent before the year's end, but the Roach fight was initially scheduled for December 14th before being pushed to 2025. This delay has only added to the speculation about Davis's career trajectory and the fights he might pursue in the future.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, "Who do you want next?" And Tank's going to say, "I want all those guys." And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, "Who do you want next?" He say, "I want all the guys." This is a pretty much Tank script.
Stevenson, for his part, has remained supportive of Roach, emphasizing that he shouldn't be underestimated. Roach, with a professional record of 24 wins and 1 loss, is a skilled fighter with plenty to prove. Stevenson believes that Roach has what it takes to rise to the occasion, even against a formidable opponent like Davis. "I think it's going to be an amazing fight," Stevenson said, expressing genuine excitement for the matchup. His comments reflect the respect that exists among fighters, even in a sport as competitive and intense as boxing.
I mean, if he want to retire with the career that he got, then go ahead and do whatever you got to do. So I disagree with it. I think it's soft, but that's on him.
Do you still think that fight's possible? I know he might have a break.
As Davis prepares for his fight with Roach, his future beyond this matchup remains a hot topic of conversation. There have been rumors of potential fights with other top names in the sport, including WBA junior welterweight title holder Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Valenzuela, who recently won the 140 pounds belt in a split decision victory over Isaac Pitbull Cruz, would represent a significant challenge for Davis. However, whether this fight materializes remains to be seen.
This is a hell of an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna conquer it. Everybody know we're gonna come in and do. If you don't, then shit, you're gonna be in for a surprise. I know he won't be surprised. I think he actually.
The question of Davis's legacy is one that will continue to be debated long after the Roach fight. Whether he chooses to take on more high-profile opponents in the future or stick to his current path, Davis's career is undoubtedly one of the most compelling stories in boxing today. What's your view of things? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.